Okay, look who's back with us, the ranking member of House Budget. He's Congressman Jason Smith. Always a pleasure to see you again, sir. Okay, let's show what happened with the market. Stocks again taking hits today. The Federal Reserve sounding more aggressive about raising rates. It raised rates again, Congressman, by half a point. It's now talking that rates could end next year at 5.25. But you know what was really mystifying? Fed Chair Powell says no one can see a recession coming. Let's watch this. Watch.
No, I don't say that. I mean, I would say this, you know, to the extent we need to keep rates higher and keep them there for longer and inflation, you know, moves up higher and higher, I think that narrows the runway. But lower inflation readings, if they persist in time, could certainly make it more possible. So I don't think anyone knows whether we're going to have a recession or not. And if we do, whether it's going to be a deep one or not. It's not knowable.
Congressman, it's not knowable. We've got major CEOs from FedEx to Goldman Sachs to JP Morgan Chase, Walmart buckling up saying a recession is coming. So should we fire all of, half of the Federal Reserve workers who are supposed to forecast recession?
I'll tell you, our economy is not in a good position. You just talk to any average day American who's just trying to put food on their table, clothes on their backs, and gasoline in their car. The Congressional Budget Office, in the first month of Joe Biden's term, said that we would not raise interest rates until the year 2024. But then, of course, Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer went on a spending spree, added $10 trillion of new spending to our ledgers, and that created the inflation crisis, the highest inflation in 40 years. And so that's why you've seen the interest rate, the rates being raised 7 times now. So we're in uncharted territory without a doubt, Liz.
So the more they spend, the more we're on a roller coaster with the Fed raising rates. You know what I mean? I mean, the president is touting an inflation rate at 7.1%. That's still at a 40-year high. Inflation never broke above 3.2% from 2011 to April of 2021. It's double the prior decade. And he's struggling to get traction with voters. He's still underwater with disapproval ratings at about 52% plus. And now he's getting angry when people ask him about his age. That's what Politico is reporting.
Liz, inflation's gone up 14.3% since Joe Biden took the oath of office. Inflation was 1.4% when he was sworn into office, and it's because of his reckless spending. Just because of the increase of inflation of 14.3% since he's been in office, every American has basically lost 2 months of their paycheck over the last 2 years. That is what Americans are feeling. That is what they're worried about. I mean, maybe they're not so worried about his age. They're so worried about someone who doesn't look at reality. For the longest time, Joe Biden didn't think inflation was real. He said that it was transitory. Then he said it was because of COVID. Then he said it was because of Putin. And now whose fault is it? It's his fault. Finally, they're starting to realize that.
You know, Congressman, we're finding out from a new HBO Max documentary that Nancy Pelosi told President Obama the reason Democrats lost the House in 2010 was because, quote, white men get in a mood when they do not have jobs. I mean, white men were in a mood like anyone else who would be if they lost their jobs. She's got a taxpayer-funded job. Why is she talking about anyone getting moody? And isn't it a little exclusionary that she only referenced white men getting upset?
It's ridiculous, but let me tell you, she got fired by the American people. She lost her job as Speaker of the House. The American people spoke a few weeks ago, saying that they were tired of her out-of-control policies that's making their lives more difficult every day. So Nancy Pelosi will be fired on January 2nd. In 20 days, she will no longer be Speaker of the House because the American people knows that the direction she was leading this country was the wrong direction.
It was one of the most polarized, one of the most vicious tenures, critics say, in D.C. People who lived under it, even moderate Democrats, are saying it was really tough to be under her stewardship. Even though she's being lauded by the media, there's a backstory there. Congressman Smith, it's a pleasure having you on. Merry Christmas to you. It's good to see you.